All right. We have now looked at how to build a dominant seventh chord. You can see I've sort of built up our little scenario here bigger so that we can see both what we did in B flat and what we did in D major here. We saw that in both of these keys we walked up to the fifth degree of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here I sort of wrote the whole scale out just so we can see. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me to F, which is what I have over here. Just that much of the scale. And using just the notes from that scale, which I've got the whole thing over here, I built the seventh chord, which came naturally there, F A C E flat, or root third, fifth, seventh, and that was just totally normal because that's what I got over here, and we said that that kind of chord is called a dominant seventh chord. Same thing was happening down here in D major. Went to the fifth note of that scale, which again I've got the whole scale here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is A. So even though I'm in the key of D major, if I'm supposed to write a dominant seventh chord in D major, the chord is going to be built on A. It's one of these strange things where we don't always get to do everything based on the bottom note. This bottom note here, it thinks it's so important. It's the most, it's the first one in the scale. It's the one the scale is named after, but this fifth note is the dominant note. So it's got something to say, and it's got this important chord built on it. Sort of a weird power struggle going on inside the major scale. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets me to A. A is the fifth note in the scale. It's the dominant of the scale. And that's where I'm going to build a dominant seventh chord. Again, just using notes from the scale. So I've got A, C sharp, E, and G natural. There's my dominant seventh chord. And again, we also said that what makes it a dominant seventh, there's two components. The triad, just root third, fifth. Here it's F, A, C. Here it's A, C sharp, E. The triad is major. And we said the seventh, here it's A to G natural. Here it's F to E flat. The seventh is minor. So it's a major triad and a minor seventh. That's a dominant seventh chord. Also, if we build a seventh chord on the fifth degree of a major scale, using notes just from that scale, we make it happen. So in B flat, we've got an F, a chord built on F, F dominant seventh chord. And in D, we've got a chord built on A. It's one of those weird things. So if I was in, let's say if I was in a key of E, for instance. So let's write E. This is just really quick. I want to give a real quick example, and then we're going to talk about how we can actually write this in a notation program ourselves. So if I'm in a key of E and I'm starting down here, I would just count up 5 in that major scale. E going to F sharp. There's my F sharp. I'm going to go G sharp. Then I've got A. Then I've got, B. And it's from that note that I'm going to build my dominant seventh chord. So it's all about, even though I'm in E major, I'm going to end up with a chord built on B. And that's my dominant seventh chord. Just one of those things. All right, so let's head over here into Google Chrome, and we're going to go to a site called Noteflight.com. So here I go to Noteflight.com, and what we're going to see is that this is a notation program that's in the browser. And even though we see all this crazy premium stuff, we don't need to worry about the premium stuff. We're just going to be basic and live life. Okay, so I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you how you can use Noteflight to create your greats assignment that you can turn in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to go ahead and put my password in, So here we go. I am, uh-oh. Well, it didn't like that. Sometimes this thing is not so friendly. So sometimes we just got to type it all out. Log in. All right, here we go. So you can read all this stuff you want, but I'm interested in getting to the point here, so I'm going to go new score right here because I want to make a new score. Let's see what happens. And what do you know? Some music comes up, and we are ready to go.